Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. For those that don't know, my name is Andrew Forrest. I'm the General Manager of Business and Technical Operations. Got a big day for you here. Happy New Year again. Thanks for everyone being here. But today it's all about our new head coach, who I'll introduce shortly. But before we do that, I'd like to recap, where we've been that's gotten us to this point. As we enter, historic season 5 with a brand new head coach, I want to reflect a little bit on where we've been and again how we've gotten to this point. We've accomplished a lot in 4 seasons. Again, as we head into season 5, we've made the Western Conference Finals in our first 2 seasons, 3rd most points in the league in our 3rd season, won Copa Tejas in 2021, which was certainly a big deal. In the last 2 years, our academy has not just begun, but it has flourished. It is growing by leaps and bounds. We have 7 academy teams, culminating at the top with a U20 team that competes in multiple national leagues across the country, and that culminated at the end of last season with some monumental milestones, sending 9 kids, helping 9 young men play college soccer and realize a dream there. But even beyond that, we brought 2 of our academy local young men, I guess I should say, to first team contracts. They are now professional soccer players, the same as anybody else on our team, the same as Mark Navarro, who played in La Liga against Messi and Ronaldo in the English Premier League. They're on the same team. So it's quite an exciting thing for them and for the community and certainly for our organization. As we look to season 5, we want to, if John Hutchinson was standing here today, and he has, as he has in the past, we're all disappointed with how last season went, but we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to build on it, and we brought in the guy that we think is going to get us back to winning ways. We look forward to our most balanced schedule of all time in the 5 years that we've been in this league, where we're playing everybody in the Western Conference home and away, 17 home games, 17 away games, and we will play everybody in the Eastern Conference for the first time, 6 home, 6 away. We're going to see some teams that we've never seen before in Miami FC, in Birmingham Legion, and a few others. We're going to host some teams that have never been here before, and we're going to travel some places that we've never been. So outside of the long distances, we're super excited about those away trips as well. Some major squad additions, and Brian will talk a little bit more about that, but there's some guys that we've been able to retain. There's been some guys that we've been able to re-sign, and we've went out and got 6, 7, 8 guys, a few that we still can't tell you about coming soon, that we're really juiced about to get out there and again get back to a playoff position and beyond. Now I want to talk a little bit about Brian Clarhaut, our new head coach. Brian hails from southern New Jersey, right outside Philadelphia, Medford. Started coaching at a young age. Had the opportunity to coach 2 perennial top 25 Division I college teams, UConn, perennial number 1, top 5 college program at the time, and then going to Temple University in Philadelphia and bringing them back to national prominence. Then made a massive jump, and a borderline unprecedented jump for a young American that had never been on the national team at least, to go to Europe. Most specifically Sweden, and work his way through the professional ranks all the way up to the first division in Sweden, which is a premier soccer playing country in Europe. And he can talk a lot more about, of course, about his journey. But as we enter a new era with our 3rd head coach in club history, at this time I'd like to welcome Brian Clarhaut to the stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew, and thank you, everyone involved in El Paso and Locomotive. It's an honor to be here. Extremely humbled to be the next 3rd head coach, manager in club history, and I'm excited to be here. I came here for a visit with my family in the first week of December, and we had a really good feeling from everyone involved in the club, to seeing the city. And we decided to make it home. I think it felt good for me personally, it felt good for my family personally, and it felt good for me professionally. I think this organization has extremely high ambition to win games. I think they do things the right way in top class. from the way we travel, from the way we train, to how our marketing and how our owners work. It's been top class, so I can't speak highly enough so far. So it's been great since I've been here. I arrived, when did I arrive? A little bit late, Sunday night. I'm a little bit jet lagged still, but it's going away. But Sunday night since I've been here, it's been great. A lot of meeting my staff, meeting everyone. As you guys know, some of you know, I've been in Sweden the last 6 or 7 years. Really unique experience, challenging experience for an American coach, younger American coach, being put into really competitive and extreme environments where the promotion and relegation is a huge factor. I've been a part of promotions and I've been part of relegations being over there. Extremely high pressure. This past season, extremely difficult season, but playing against top coaches, top managers, top players and teams that are competing in Champions League, competing in Europa League. And I hope these experiences can help shape us to win games here and to move forward and to reach the playoffs and ultimately compete to be a premier USL organization for 2023. I firmly believe that, and that's one of the reasons why I took the job. So, Andrew, I appreciate it. I'm super excited, super humbled, and I came here to win. I cannot stress that enough. I came and moved my family from Europe to come back home. I wasn't going to come to a place unless I knew I could win, and I truly believe that. So thanks a lot.
All right, just a quick reminder, our first home game is March 11th, Saturday versus Sacramento Republic, game time at 7:30. We certainly hope to see everybody there. I know a few of you guys will be there. What we're now going to do is open it up for questions to either myself, but probably, hopefully more importantly, to Brian, to talk about anything from, experiences in Sweden, again, squad construction, players that are currently here, players that are the type of players that are being looked at, whatever you guys want to ask. So at this point, I'd bring Brian back up here and it'll open up to you guys to ask questions. And then after that, the group session, we can do one-on-ones with, again, myself or with Brian. So I'll bring Brian back up here if anybody has any questions for the group.
What are you guys going to look like on the field? What's the style of play going to be?
Yeah, I think that's a few people have asked me that question. I think part of the one thing with the hiring process, it was not to just throw everything away and restart again. Okay, 2022, that's done in 2023. Again, part of the reason why I took this job, or why it appealed to me, was I thought John was a pretty good coach. I think he had a good setup. He was setting up his principles in order to be successful in 2023. Locomotive was number 1 in possession in the USL at 60%. They were number 1 in challenge intensity in the whole league, and number 4 in PPDA, which is pressing per defensive actions. These principles are up my alley. So I think I'm aligned to the philosophy. There's obviously going to be things where I put my niche on, where I put my specialty on. I know we need to concede less goals. I would like to be a little bit more forward-thinking, more box entries, maybe a little bit quicker play to get more goal-scoring opportunities, a little bit more aggressive in the transition aspect of play. But again, we're not starting from the ground up now. It's the foundation is built, and now we got to put the molding in the windows.
What kind of players do you want to bring onto your squad?
Well, we had the announcement with Peter Petrovic last night, and that's a player I've played against in Sweden. Probably one of the best players in the second division. Big pedigree, being at Malmo. I think he was signed at 16 years old. Dynamic, goal scorer, point player, we call him. good technical players, and I think we have that already. Now it's about, okay, do we need to add a little bit more athleticism in certain positions? Do we have to add a little bit more speed in certain areas to be more well-rounded? Those are things we're going to look at, and I think we're going to be able to answer those questions with these preseason games.
Brian, one of the things that has kind of, obviously, Locomotive's a relatively new club in this league, and one of the things that's been known for in the early onset is that some of the pillars that started this team have actually kind of stayed, and some of those, it's kind of snowballed from them. There's not a lot of turnover in this team. What are your thoughts on what it is that you do have to work with the roster right now? What can you tell us about when you think about the players that are on right now?
Yeah, obviously you got some mainstay pillars like Yuma, Borelli, these guys that have been part of it, of the program for extended years, and I think that's only a positive, right? They know what the culture is like. They know, obviously, being I call them cultural architects in the locker room, to kind of set the standards. We're bringing new guys in as well, but they have a sense of pride of being in El Paso and for this club, Locomotive. So having veteran leadership in there, handful of guys. We can speak about more, but I speak about those two guys specifically with their age, even Lucho with his age being here. It's just a positive for me. I think it makes the coaching staff and the technical staff's job a lot easier, to set standards and to set high demands daily. When we have guys that are really committed and have made El Paso and have made Locomotive their club and their home. You got to score goals in this sport, You got to score goals in this sport, Now, I know there was some adversity last season. I know the preseason got off to a bit of a rocky start in the early parts of the season. There were some COVID issues. There were some different issues. Hey, listen, that's adversity, right? Who? To be frank with you, who the hell knows? We could wake up tomorrow, the whole squad's sick for 2 weeks. We got to be strong enough to handle adversity. We got to be mentally tough. We need to be united, and then if we can control those outer factors, it will make our job from the technical side, from the tactical side, on the pitch a lot easier. So, so my first order of business is to make this squad mentally tough, be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's something I say a lot. And then the football side, the soccer side should be able to. That should be the easier part.
How'd you and the Locomotive find each other? What was the whole boarding process, recruiting process like?
Yeah, I was in touch with one of their consultants, who asked me if I had interest in the job. Then I spoke with Andrew and Alan on a Zoom call. This was what, in end of November, early December, end of November, and we spoke for about an hour and a half on a Zoom, and then the relationship got built. The interest level got built from me. I kind of learned what they're about. They kind of learned what I was about a bit, and then we kind of took it from there.
Locals have a tremendous fan base. What is your message to
We want to put out a brand of football that they can be proud of, to entertain, and we will be proud of not only our city but what we wear on the chest that reflects them. So I'm excited to get to meet these guys. I'm excited to put out something that these fans can be proud of weekly, and we want to be, like I said, we're here to win. We're going to compete, and we're going to leave everything out on the pitch.
A question for both you and for Andrew. On Monday, the league announced the 2023 schedule. Just at first look, I'm sure you've already analyzed it probably a little bit more. But Brian, on the competitive side, is there anything to comment about it? And then Andrew, from the business and fan experience side, how happy are you with the upcoming schedule and the way it goes about?
I'm not fully there yet. I'm looking at our first preseason game. I'm looking to get into Austin, and then I'm looking at at our academy games, and I'm looking more at our preseason schedule before I get into the regular season. Obviously, our first games are competitive games. They're good clubs. They're teams that have been very successful. But again, I'm more excited in these next 2 weeks to play our academy, to play Barca Academy as well, to go down to Austin and see what we're about against a very good MLS team. And that's where my focus is right now, to kind of get that sorted. But I'll let you speak on the USL.
Well, there's our preseason schedule, which will come out in a formal format on Monday. No, that's fun.
Does Austin know that?
Yeah, Austin is very. We'll be putting that out in a formal capacity on Monday, the preseason schedule, and the availability for media at our home matches. In terms of home games versus road games, I think this is our best schedule yet. This is the most Saturday night games that we've ever had as a club. I believe it's 13 Saturday nights, 4 Wednesday nights, which again is the best that we've ever had. We want Saturday night games. That's what we want, and we were able to work that out. We've got some marquee matchups on some Saturdays. We start on a Saturday with a historic program in Sacramento Republic. We bring down one of the highest, Detroit City. They're known for their fans. Well, they get to come here and deal with ours, and I'm going to be real happy to show them what we're doing in here, because we know we have a great fan base as well. And we've got a huge opportunity in 1 week. We have 3 games in the first 2 weekends, which could put us in a pole position if we can do well to right out of the gates to put everybody in this league on notice that we're going to be something to deal with. That's a little more dynamic than unfortunately with the issues we had last year. So it's great to be able to. We've got some big road trips. I think we're going to Hartford and Miami, and those are long road trips. But to be able to go to those places, to bring our brand of football to those communities for the first time, to be able to go to Louisville with probably the nicest stadium in this league, and to be able to show them that we can compete at this level. Despite some of the challenges, I remind people, we lost to Louisville 1-0 here last year. We lost to San Antonio 1-0 here. I mean, we're not far off. And with the guys, with the new coach, Brian being here and his principles, and with some of the players that we've brought in and gotten significantly younger, we're going to be faster. We're going to be stronger. We're going to be quicker, and I think that's going to translate into more points, more wins. And if we're not here for that, I don't know why we're here. So I think in terms of the schedule, I'm excited because there's nowhere to hide. No one gets to hide from anybody this year. You can't say, oh, well, they got to play whatever team 4 times. Well, cool. We all played each other the same amount of times. So I think the best teams will be crowned at the end. They will be there. Whoever's left standing will have deserved it, because there's full equity in the schedule for everybody, I think. So, which is exciting for the first time. I just wish we could play Red Bulls a couple times. Any other questions for me or Brian? Okay, at this point we're gonna break this down, and we'll have one-on-ones with either myself or Brian. So if you guys want to queue up, we can do that. Thank you.